Okay, guys, so today what we're going to be talking about is identifying statistical questions. And so we're going to be looking at various questions and asking ourselves, can we answer those questions with statistics? So our target for today says that I can identify statistical questions as ones that produce variability in the data set. Notice that variability is a bolded, highlighted, underlined word there. That's because that's one of our vocabulary words for today. So before we can ask, does it produce that, we have to talk about what that is. So first things first, let's talk about what are statistics, because this entire unit is going to be dealing with this topic. It's going to be dealing with statistics. So as I'm going over this, you need to be filling in your notes paper. So the first box there, it says, what are statistics? Okay. Statistics is the study of the collection, the organization, the analysis, the interpretation, and the presentation of data. All right, so when we're talking about statistics, we're just talking about, and data we know is just information that we can gather. So it's talking about going out and collecting data, whether it be with surveys or polls or by asking. It's talking about how we organize that data. Do we put it in frequency tables? Do we put it in charts? How are we keeping it all together? Analysis means how are we going to break it down? Interpreting means how are we going to tell it to other people? And presenting is kind of the same thing, except when we present, we're going to have charts and graphs and different statistical displays to represent our data. And throughout our entire unit, we're going to be working with collecting, organizing, analyzing, interpreting, and presenting data. Okay? So in other words, statistics is what we use to find the answers to things we don't already know. Okay? So like I said, today our focus is on statistical questions. So a statistical question is one that anticipates or it produces variability in the data set. Okay, so what is variability? So the box where we're going to define variability. Okay, variability refers to the extent to which data points differ from each other. Okay, so we're talking about how are they different? Variability is saying to produce variability, a statistical question is one that generates a variety. You can see that root word there in variability. It just means, are there a variety of answers, or are they all the same? Okay. So to produce variability, okay, to get that differences in data, a statistical question is one that generates a variety of answers. So let's look at some examples of questions that are statistical. And this is in the first column there underneath examples and non-examples. Some examples of statistical questions are, how tall are the students in math class? Okay, if I went around and if I measured everyone and took everybody's heights, I would collect a variety of answers. We would have some people that are teeny tiny and really, really short. We would have some people that are in that middle range. We would have some people that are really, really tall. But we would get a ton of different answers. The next one, a meteorologist measures the weather every day. How many rainy days are there in each month? This one is statistical because every month we're going to have a different number of rainy days. So for example, in July, we might only have 2 rainy days. In September, we might have 11 rainy days. And then in October, we might have 20 rainy days. Okay. This question is statistical because as we go through the year and look at all the months, we're going to get different answers for every month. Okay. A car dealer has 45 cars for sale. How much does the dealer charge for the cars? We all know that if we go to a car lot, we're going to, each car price is going to have each car price is going to have a different price on it. Okay. So if we're looking at buying like a Ford Focus, that's not going to cost the same as somebody that's going to go out and get a Bugatti car. Okay, their prices are going to be very, very different. If you go to a car lot, they're all going to have different prices. So, what were the scores on the last math test is another example because everybody's going to have a different score. We might have some of the repeated scores, but we're going to have a variety of answers. All of these questions are statistical because they produce multiple answers. It's not just one answer. Okay, so on the other side, question examples that are not statistical. Okay, so a question that's not a statistical example is, how tall is Mary? This one is not statistical because I can answer it in one simple answer. Mary is 7 feet tall. One answer. Another example that is not statistical is how many rainy days were there in March of 2015 in Danville, Kentucky? I can answer that with one answer. There were 12 rainy days in March of 2015. How much does the dealer charge for the 2015 Dodge Ram? He charges $45,000. Okay, that's one answer, so therefore the question is not statistical. What was Jason's score on the math test? Jason got an 89. Okay, all of these questions are not statistical because they only produce one answer. Okay, all right, so flip on over to the back of your paper. We're going to write a rule for helping us determine if a question is statistical or not statistical. Okay, so to determine if they are statistical questions, we're going to say if a question can produce multiple answers, then yes, it is a statistical question. Okay, so if I can ask a question and get a variety of responses, or I get multiple answers, then it is statistical. Okay, on the other hand, non-statistical questions, if a question can only produce one answer, then it's not a statistical question. Okay, so it is statistical if it can produce multiple answers, not statistical if it doesn't produce multiple answers. So use these rules to help you identify statistical and non-statistical questions in the following examples. So on your paper there, for your practice examples, you have 12 questions. I'm going to help you with 1, 2, and 3. And it says, read each question below and identify whether the question is statistical or non-statistical. Circle which one. So we're going to start with number 1, and it says, an elementary school has 10 classes. How many students are in each class? And they want to know, is this a statistical question or is this not statistical? Okay, so I want you to think about an elementary school, and you go up to each classroom, okay, and you knock on the door. You count the kids. In one classroom, there might be 22 kids. In the next classroom, there might be 24 kids. In the next classroom, there might be 18 kids. Okay, this is an example of a statistical question because each classroom could have a different amount of students. All right, so let's move on to number 2. Number 2 says Farmers National Bank charges a flat fee for using the ATM. So first of all, a flat fee just means they charge you that one-time price. To use their ATM, they might charge you like a $2 fee. Okay, so how much does the bank charge? Well, I just answered that question. The bank charges $2. Is this statistical or non-statistical? This is an example of a non-statistical question because I answered that question with one answer. The bank charges $2. Okay. Number 3, it says Eugene is shopping for a new computer. How much do new computers cost at the store? So let's think about going into the store and looking at computer prices. If I buy a Dell Chromebook, it might cost me $300. Okay, but if I go over there and I look at the MacBook Pros, they're going to cost like $1,500. Okay, the different levels of computers have a bunch of different prices. Okay, therefore, this is a statistical question because asking how much do the computers cost, we could get a variety of answers. All right, so what I want you guys to do is I want you to go through the rest of the problems by yourself. I want you to pause the video and I want you to answer them. When you are finished with your answers, I want you to click play and check over your answers. So go ahead and pause and answer 4 through 12. All right, so let's go ahead and check these. Number 4 says, how many hours this week did Julie spend on math homework? That is non-statistical because I can answer that with one answer. Julie spent 5 hours. Okay. Number 5, a survey was taken to find out which lunch was the favorite of all BCMS students. That question is statistical because every BCMS student might say, oh, I like fish nuggets, or I like pizza, or I like fajita chicken. Okay, you're going to get a variety of answers. You're going to get multiple different answers. How tall is Jill? That one is non-statistical because I can answer it with one question. Jill is 5 feet tall. Number 7, Miss Arnold surveyed the class and asked how many hours do you spend on electronics over the weekend? That one is statistical because we're going to gather a whole bunch of different answers. Some people might spend a lot, some people might spend a little. Regardless, we're going to have lots of different answers. Number 8, how many hours did Michael sleep last night? That one is non-statistical because I can answer that with one answer. Michael slept 12 hours. Number 9, Mr. Green took a poll in his band class. How many hours do you practice on your instrument? That question is statistical because every student is going to respond with a different answer. Number 10, what were the shoe sizes of the students in 6th grade math? And that question is statistical because if I polled everybody and I took your shoe size, we would get a variety of answers. Number 11, what was the average temperature on March 14th, 2018 in Danville, Kentucky? That one is non-statistical because I can say the average temperature on March 14th was 30 degrees. Number 12, what color shirt did Aaron wear last Tuesday? That one is also non-statistical because I can say last Tuesday, Aaron wore a black t-shirt. Okay. All right, so now what you guys are going to do is you're going to write an example of your own statistical question and your own non-statistical question. When you are finished with that, I want you to go back to the Google Doc page and you're going to do the first set of practice problems. Okay?